The teenage girl from Alabama went missing in 2012, and authorities have never located her. In October 2023, at a court hearing, the suspect, Joran van der Sloot, acknowledged killing her. While on a classification to Aruba on May 30, 2005, Natalee Holloway vanished from sight. For almost 20 years, Natalee Holloway's disappearance remained unresolved. On May 30, 2005, the 18-year-old from Mountain Brook, Alabama, vanished while on a graduation trip to Aruba. What happened to Natalie remained a mystery for 19 years, despite an extensive search, innumerable leads, and rigorous inquiry by law enforcement, private detectives, and true crime fans. Natalie has never been located. However, a lawyer for Natalie's mother, Beth, informed that on October 18, 2023, Joran van der Sloot, the Dutch national who was last seen with Natalie, acknowledged killing the Alabama teen after entering a guilty plea to charges of extortion and wire fraud. Van der Sloot confessed, but it's still uncertain if he can be charged because Aruba has a 12-year statute of limitations. In the past, authorities detained van der Sloot twice in connection with Natalie's disappearance, but released him both times due to insufficient evidence. For killing 21-year-old Stephany Flores Ramírez in 2010, van der Sloot is presently serving a jail sentence. Dave and Beth Holloway had an older kid named Natalie, who was born in Tennessee on October 21, 1986. Matthew, their younger son, was born in 1988. When she was only 7 years old, her parents got divorced in 1993, and her mother took primary custody of the Holloway children. Following Beth's marriage to George Jug Twitty in 2000, the family moved to the Birmingham neighborhood of Mountain Brook, Alabama. Natalie excelled academically at Mountain Brook High School, earning straight A's. The Alabama Teens High School resume was remarkable, as she had memberships in student government, the high school dance team, and the National Honor Society. Natalie was also involved in volunteer work, working with the American Field Service, an organization that assists international exchange students, and as a peer counselor for the group Natural Helpers. In May 2005, Natalie embarked on a 5-day graduation trip to Aruba with more than 100 of her fellow classmates from Mountain Brook High School. Beth told in 2008 that she had been excited. For Natalie, then 18 years old, and the other students to enjoy their tropical holiday despite Dave's early misgivings about the trip. However, one of the 7 adult chaperones called Beth early on the morning of May 30, 2005, the last day of the vacation. It was the call that all mothers and fathers dread, Beth told. Natalie was reported missing after she failed to appear for the group's return flight. Several reports state that Natalie and her friends spent the final night of their vacation at Carlos and Charlie's, a well-known eatery and bar in Orange Estad, Aruba. Natalie was last seen leaving the pub around 1:30 a.m. in a white car with 3 men who were eventually identified as brothers Deepak and Satish Kalpo, 19, and Joran van der Sloot. Van der Sloot, according to Kiola, was absolutely at Carlos and Charlie's that evening and had been spending the entire week with them. Earlier that evening, van der Sloot was spotted in the hotel casino, according to Natalie's twin cousins, who were also traveling. Dutch national van der Sloot was enrolled in the International School of Aruba. He was an honor roll student like Natalie, but he also liked to party, according to Kimberly Boeckhout, a frequent visitor to Van Der. On June 9, 2005, the brothers Kalpo and van der Sloot were taken into custody. A little more than a week later, party animal DJ Steve Gregory Crows, 26, was the 4th man taken into custody. In relation to Natalie's disappearance, Paulus van der Sloot, a lawyer aspiring to be a judge, was also detained on June 23. Each of the 5 men was regarded as a suspect. But by September 2005, all of them were out of jail. At the time, Shen noted Joran van der Sloot and the culpos were still under investigation. In November 2007, the Culpo brothers and Sloot were taken into custody once more. Aruban prosecutors charged the three men with involvement in the voluntary manslaughter of Natalee Holloway or causing serious bodily harm to Natalee Holloway, resulting in her death, after they discovered fresh evidence. The new evidence that prompted the arrests was not disclosed by the prosecutors. But in December 2007, all three were freed from prison, and the charges were dropped that same month. The statement also stated that not enough evidence was available to demonstrate that a crime of violence against Natalee Holloway had been committed or that either of the suspects' involuntary actions had caused her death. Sloot has related a number of tales about what transpired with Natalee over the years, but none of them have come to pass. Initially, a confession purportedly made by Sloot and recorded by Patrick van der Aem, a businessman undercover for a Dutch journalist, was shown on a Dutch TV station in February 2008.
Plus, she asked to go back to her hotel, but I was just trying to get dropped off a little bit further away from her hotel so we could walk back to her hotel and I might still get a chance to be with her. I'm actually with Natalie walking along the beach. I find a space before we get to the Marriott hotel, where I lay her down. We lay down together in the sand, and we start kissing each other. I get her to kiss me again. We start kissing each other, and I start feeling her up again. And she tells me no. She tells me she doesn't want me to feel her up. I insist. I keep feeling her up either way. And she knees me, she ends up kneeing me in the crotch. When she knees me in the crotch, I get up on the beach and I kick her extremely hard in the face. And I see right next to her there's a huge cinder block laying on the beach.
When you say cinder block, looking at the walls of this place, is it like those?
The exact same cinder blocks. I see a huge cinder block laying on the beach. I take this and I smash her head in with it completely. Her face basically, collapses in. Even though it's dark, I can see her face is collapsed in. I decide to take her and to put her into the ocean.
Sloot informs van der Aem that Natalee overdosed on drugs on the beach and that her body was thrown into the sea by him and a companion. However, Sloot admitted in November 2008 that he had received $10,000 for selling Natalee to a sex trafficking organization. Additionally, he gave a recording, the veracity of which has been called into question, on which he is purportedly speaking to his father about the crime. Sloot claimed to have lied in an email to Fox News 8 hours after the interview. In 2010, the fake confessions persisted. The Dutch tabloid Telegraph revealed in February that the year before, Sloot had done an interview with TV station Rattle 5, in which he claimed to have taken Natalee to a friend's house where they used cocaine and drank whiskey. Then, he said, Natalee died after falling off a balcony and he hid her body in a swamp. However, before the Telegraph published Sloot's assertions, the Aruba Justice Department had already looked into them. His claims were deemed entirely unbelievable. By them, a second purported confession was made in February of 2016. Sloot was surreptitiously filmed by the National Enquirer while he confessed to killing Natalee in a Peruvian jail. He started serving a 28-year term in 2012 for Stephany Flores Ramírez's murder. Sloot claims on the tape that he never told the truth and always lied to the police. It was also recorded with Sloot declaring that he was guilty in the Holloway case. The Holloway family promptly disregarded these claims as being made for show rather than being true. Sloot is said to have gotten in touch with the Holloway family in March 2010 and offered, in exchange for money, to provide information on Natalie's demise and where her remains were found. According to a federal document made public in June of that year, Sloot sent Beth's lawyer, John Q. Kelly, an email in late March 2010 initiating his attempt to extort the Holloways. Sloot made arrangements via email to give the Holloway family access to Natalie's information in return for $250,000. Before meeting with Sloot in Aruba and giving him a $25,000 down payment, Kelly contacted the FBI to videotape the exchange for prosecution. The FBI worked with Aruban law enforcement. Kelly met with Sloot in May 2010 and provided him $10,000 cash. Beth then sent an additional $15,000 to the Dutch bank account of Sloot. Sloot demanded the down payment on the grounds that he had thrown Natalie to the ground during a fight and that she had died from striking her head on a rock. Additionally, he took Kelly to a residence where he declared that he had buried Natalie's remains in the gravel beneath the single-story home's foundation as a means of disposing of her body. However, the data once again turned out to be untrue. The house did not exist when Natalie vanished, according to an examination of building permits. On May 17, 2010, Sloot acknowledged that he had lied about the location in an email to Kelly. Subsequently, Sloot acknowledged that the purported extortion attempt was part of his plan to exact revenge on Natalie's parents. 5 years after Natalie vanished, on May 30, 2010, Stephany Flores Ramírez, a 21-year-old woman, was reported missing in Peru. Flores, the daughter of race car driver and businessman Ricardo Flores, was last seen with Sloot, according to Peruvian authorities. Then, on June 2, Flores's body was discovered dead from a bludgeoning in a hotel room in Lima that belonged to Sloot. On June 3, Sloot, the main suspect in Flores' death, was taken into custody in Chile. After Flores learned of his connection to the Natalee Holloway case, he admitted to killing her to Peruvian police. The Dutchman claimed temporary insanity when entering a guilty plea to the murder charges. Sloot was experiencing extreme psychological trauma, according to his lawyer, as a result of being persecuted over Natalie's disappearance. January 2012, we saw his sentencing to 28 years in jail. Sloot's potential prosecution in the Caribbean nation is uncertain due to Aruba's 12-year statute of limitations. The Aruba Public Prosecutor's Office spokeswoman stated that Sloot's potential prosecution for murder in the nation cannot be answered unequivocally, and that Natalie's case is still under investigation. So this was the story of Natalee Holloway. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get all the notifications about our new true crime stories. Also, share your thoughts in the comment below and which true crime case you want us to investigate next. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video. Until then, have a good day and be safe.